Hi, Marco. How are you?
Good.
Thank you so much for being with us at this SoLEAD event. You've had a connection and a session with the participants this morning. In your role, what do you believe helps the most when we try and develop talent or in a developmental journey?
Wow, great question. It was great to be with the group, the SoLEAD group, with very personal stories. So I really liked that. And I also try to bring some personal stories as well to inspire the people. I think what's important, we are IT people, and then we tend to look at one side of the spectrum, namely the IQ side. But there's also the emotional part, and I think when we balance that a little bit better, so not only working on our technical capabilities, but also on our emotional capabilities, and becoming not only our best, but that was my message today as well, and become ourselves, or the best version of yourself. I think that's the most important part to be a player in the Champions League, I would say.
And so I come to the second question. You've been, you're currently playing a dual role, right? You
Yes.
take care of the Netherlands as a CSO, and you're our global CSO. And that brings just as much, equal amount of weight, doubled. So you've doubled your role all of a sudden because,
Yes.
there's just so much pressure right now. And you travel a lot.
Yes.
From your point of view as a leader who's had that experience, what would you say to employees who look up to you and want to be like you? What are those 2 or 3 things that you would advise them to do in situations like yours today, where you're flying 3 continents in 2 weeks, managing multiple roles and all the pressure that comes with it?
Wow. Last week I said I was with some customers in the US on our Gen AI study tour, which was great to be there with customers, to be in the heart of the technology innovations. And one of the customers asked me pretty much the same, a customer who knows me quite long, and I smiled and I said, well, when you are head of sales or a CSO of the Netherlands, that's more than a full-time job. Then from July 1st, I became the global CSO, which is also more than a full-time job. And I'm also a father of 2 kids and a husband to Sylvia, which is also more than a full-time, I would say, job. So how do you cope with that? For me is, first of all, it needs to be fun. So when it's fun, it takes less energy than when it's work. So for me, working at Sogeti as a CSO of the Netherlands or as a global CSO, it's fun. So it's for me, it's beautiful to get the chance of being that. So that's my main first priority. So it's for me, it needs to be fun. That's one. The second thing is, I want to have the feeling that I contribute myself. So in supporting people, in leading by example, and also try to be, and I can have some personal development on that as well, I must say. It's all about also being transparent on not only what you can do, but also what you cannot do. And that's sometimes difficult to be, when you're in your environment, to say, okay, normally I would have done this, but now with 2 roles, I cannot do that anymore. So somebody else has to do that, or you give some space for another one to step in, to say. So the first one is, it needs to be fun for me. The second one is be transparent on what your priorities are. And the third one is you need to have a good home base. So a support system with my wife, with my kids, with my mother and father-in-law, that is also very important. So balance, that is also one of my, I would say, support systems to stay alive.
I love that.
How do you support our colleagues in obtaining the relevant certifications?
Wow. Okay, so we have a program that we focus on which is called Skills Excellence. And what we've done is we've charted career growth paths in each, I would say, portfolio of the business. So for example, if you're somebody who works in quality engineering and testing, we've defined the roles that exist in that portfolio. And so based on every role and grade, we've identified certifications that are not only mandatory, but relevant as well for the clients, both internal and external. So we've tried to keep that a simple framework like that so that employees can have access very easily and know what they need to do rather than them look for it. But the other thing we've also done is we've created a learning hub where we've put all additional certification, because it's impossible to link everything to a role. So whatever is relevant to the role from a technology point of view is related, but whatever is outside, like all your Gen AI things, all your behavioral certifications are all available, and they do that based on grade and their discussions with the manager.
Okay, great.
Do you have any other questions?
Yes, I have also a question for you, another one. When you look at the Become Your Best initiative, and I think you were one of the founding mothers of that initiative, so thank you for that. How does that influence our talent development within Sogeti? What's your view on that?
So when we defined, the framework of Become Your Best is a flexible framework that we're trying to build, where we are saying that every individual comes in to become their own best. So what we don't have is a one-size-fits-all at every grade to say to be your best at a grade D, you need to be like this. So we are not defining what you need to be. What we are saying is you bring yourself to work. You bring your full self to work. So like you said earlier, right? We think from the head, but let's think from the head and the heart. And be your best self. Every single day, how do I support you be your best self? So Become Your Best is our framework, where then we provide you certifications, helps. We provide you a lot of learning, health and well-being, everything that can make life at work comfortable, fun, that you look forward to is what we try and do. And so I'm hoping that slowly people start to understand that you don't need to wear a mask when you come to work and wear a different mask at home. You can be the same person. And I think from your personal journey, that's exactly what I heard as well, right? That I'm me and I bring me to work, and that's why work is fun. Yes. So this is exactly what we're trying to do.
So it's customized, that's what you say. And let's say you're a 26-old Java engineer in one of the Sogeti countries, having all kinds of deadlines, pressure on your personal life. What would be your advice to that colleague to become her or his best?
So I think a couple of things. One is that whether you are 24, 25 and have different type of commitments, or you've come up the age and you've crossed your mid-30s, I think at the end of the day you need to understand what is your priority. Where does your priority lie today? And if your priority is to focus on one of the things, let's say on the personal front, then find that balance to be able to do that. But from a work point of view, what I feel is when you take up a role with a client, go back and bring that value where they need it. If you can bring value to the client, you will find so much inner peace to say, I've achieved, right? Small bits. And for me, I think that's the only thing I would tell anyone. Identify where you're good at, bring your best potential there, and then balance yourself. Because if you're going to drive yourself to do too much, then you're going to burn out. If you're not going to do too much, then you're going to feel like, did I really achieve? So define that for yourself. What is it that will make you happy? Because what is going to make me happy is not going to make you happy. So everybody needs to define their threshold and then work towards that, knowing that you are in a role where it's expected that you need to deliver to the client. So that is anyway a given. How you're going to do it, what you're going to do with it, I would say you define and keep that in your radar.
Cool. Good advice. I would add to that,
yeah,
that you also should talk about that with your environment, to your manager, to your client, because then they will help you.
And what I love about that is that as part of Become Your Best, but also as part of the organization, we have people managers, we have career managers. So even share, where do you aspire to be? You're 24, 25, you're young, you've got, all of that capability. Where do you want to go? Because then in your path to while you're delivering today, you'll also get a view on where can you go tomorrow, and is that where you want to be? So yeah. So thank you so much, Marco. It was wonderful talking to you, and thank you so much for being with us at SoLEAD.
Most welcome.
And we see you again the next time.
Of course, yes. Happy to join.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.